Welcome back, trainers, and today we're going to be doing another story time. This one's not going to be so much on the funny side, but more on the serious end. And I personally never thought I would be talking about this to the public in a million years, because it's just something so personal to me. So basically what it is why I'm an introvert, why I don't like hanging out with people or trust people. So let's go. Let's talk about this, starting from when I was young. So, grew up in a neighborhood pretty much close to where I live called Morningside Loop. Went to a elementary school called Taku Elementary. Really ghetto school back in the day. It didn't have too many walls, but more like big dressers between each classroom. It was a good childhood. I had a good childhood. The 80s was kind of still there. It was in the 90s. I was born in 86, and I was into Ninja Turtles and all that stuff around those times. So basically, let's just get down to it. I've been picked on. I've been bullied, and we're going to get into how I started sticking up for myself and how the system just confuses me, because when you stick up for yourself, you're liable to get in just as much trouble as the bully themselves. So in elementary school, I was kind of the outcast. During lunch, I wouldn't really hang out with too many people. I had friends outside of school and in school too, but really not too many when I was younger. I basically was put on medication because apparently I could not focus. I wasn't some sort of hyperactive kid. I was just bored of school. Simple as that. So the doctors deemed me to have ADD, attention deficit. So they put me on all kinds of pills, and you know what that did to me? That was the absolute destruction of my personality. A lot of people who take these pills become hyper-focused and are able to do all kinds of stuff and concentrate very well. But for myself, it did the opposite. I couldn't concentrate, and it absolutely took away my appetite. And not only that, it turned me into this zombie kid where I just didn't care about anything. And to this day, all the cartoons that were on when I came home are just bad memories. Animaniacs, I can't stand them because of these pills, the way I was feeling back then. The Batman cartoon animated series, which is really good, and now I actually appreciate it. I never was a Batman fan too much, but, just trying to fill you in on the effects that this had on me. So growing up, I continued to have to take these pills, and they just, kept fluctuating between different ones, pretty much like I was a guinea pig. And like I said, and it's described, it was pretty much the destruction of my personality. I just wasn't able to make friends like I was usually. I wasn't able to conversate with people too much. I would be biting my nails. You probably heard about this if you're older, or have looked into these kind of side effects of these pills here. And it was just absolutely horrible. Fast forward into middle school, and I got smarter. I wised up. And every time my parents would give me these pills, I would put them in my mouth, but then I wouldn't swallow them and spit them out and throw them away. Because, like I said, it turned me into a zombie. It made me not hungry. I wouldn't eat. It just felt like crap all the time. And I did not want to go through that. It was horrible. I became friends with everybody. I didn't have one segregated group that I would stick with. I was friends with the preps, with the skaters, with the, I don't know how you would call these people in middle school, but the thugs, the wannabe, gangster kind of kids, the nerds, everybody, right? I was friends with them all. But there was a few people that would pick on me. And that's where we started getting into trouble with other people. So what happened was I had enough. My dad said, if anybody starts messing with you, you fight back. I'm going to tell you right now, son, if people put their hands on you first, if you get in trouble in school for sticking up for yourself, you're not going to get in trouble by me. Your mom's another story, though. So basically, I took his advice. I don't want to put this all on my dad or anything, but he was damn right. The system is nonsense. Talking about like the school system. Basically, you get picked on. You stick up for yourself. Say they threw the first push or punch or whatever it may be. If you went back at them, you get in trouble too. You get suspended as well. It's kind of a bull crap, gotta censor myself, situation where basically the school tells you to, oh, if you're getting attacked, So curl up in a little ball and, just be a wuss or run away. You know what happens when you do that? You're going to get made fun of. So of course I would stick up for myself. And it wasn't like I was some weak little thing that couldn't help myself. I just didn't like to have fights or just, getting to controversy with other people. I just didn't like to do that. So I avoided the fights. And these bullies, they can sense this a mile away. They know. Doesn't matter if you're 300 pounds or 50 pounds. They don't care if you're going to be able to stick up for yourself. If they know you're not going to fight back, that's their target. So I started sticking up for myself and I started getting suspended. This was the lead up to me just simply not, trusting people too much, but it wasn't even to the degree that it is right now. The internet is the actual problem of that. Not too much the internet, it's just a collection of everything in my life. All right, so that happened. I would get suspended because I would stick up for myself, and I was also kind of a class clown, and that got me into trouble too. A little bit of a rude, kind of person to the teachers, and that was actually never acceptable, right? When I stopped taking my pills, I felt alive. I felt like I wanted to make jokes. I felt great, and I showed it in class. So obviously, no teachers are going to be watching me from middle school that taught me, but if you are, I'm sorry. And so the bullies eventually stopped. I would stick up for myself, and once in a while I'd get into fights, and it kind of flowed into this thing where if I saw other people getting picked on, I would start sticking up for them because I couldn't stand the suckers, the bullies. Oh man, you have no idea. And that's kind of like where I have become. I kind of like I stick up for myself a little bit too much. I get a little too defensive because of what I've been through, and I am barely brushing over what has happened in my life by telling you what's going on right now. So I get into high school service. Oh boy, this place was trash, garbage. It sucked. It might be different now, so I don't know. But nonetheless, basically, there was these stupid wannabe thug people, and they always had to say something stupid when you walked by. And I had gotten myself, I will tell you right now, I don't dress like this anymore, but I dress like, baggy pants and jerseys. I had clean clothes. I was a very clean person. Everything was neat and organized on me. And I had these very, very nice Jordans that I had bought. And man, they were so good. And somebody had to say something. I don't really remember the remark they said, but I was like, what did you say? And then, the whole thing where they get in your face, like, what are you going to do about it? Kind of deal. And they put their hand on my throat and basically started choking me. So what I did was I wanted to gouge their eyes. Honestly, I wanted to put my thumbs in their eyes, but I knew that was way, way, way beyond what I needed to do. So I kind of just put my hand on their neck as well. And it resulted in me getting suspended. And that was it. That was it. I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take these people. I couldn't take the fakeness, these morons who always try to impress people with their stuff and how they acted. I was beyond that. I couldn't. So I dropped out of high school. But before I did that, me and my mom found a place called the Youth Corps military base on Elmendorf base here in Anchorage. And so we found that, signed up, dropped out of high school. It was done. And I was going to go to this place and graduate at 16. And I completed it. So many people went in there, and very few actually graduated because it was pretty tough. And it was a pretty tough time that we were in there. It was pretty cold around April. And we were out there early in the morning doing push-ups on this cold ice, that crunchy ice, sleeping on concrete floors for the first 2 weeks. And a lot of these people that were in there were kind of rebellious people, teenagers, between the ages of 16 to 21, I do believe. I think 21 is pretty crazy. I think that was the limit. Pretty high. But nonetheless, a lot of them couldn't take orders. I'm good at doing that. I didn't mind people screaming in my face. I knew exactly what I was there for. I had a goal, and I was thinking to myself, obviously I'm going to get drill sergeants yelling at me, so just work through this. And that's exactly what we did. I graduated at 16, and my parents wanted to get out of Anchorage because it just didn't seem like a good place for them to raise their kids. A lot of younger people just doing things because they're bored and getting in trouble. They didn't want my younger siblings involved with that. So when I got out, everything was moved, and I had no time to even say bye to my friends, the little friends that I did have. So we get to Arizona, and I just do my thing there. I started working at Taco Bell. I was like 16, 17 around then. And then me and my dad didn't really get along too much, basically. In a nutshell, it's always been like that. And I eventually moved back to Anchorage. I thought I was going to get a job on the slope, and things didn't work out. Getting a job on the slope, if you don't know what that is basically far up north in Alaska, and you get paid a lot of money. A lot of money. You can work overtime, and it is nuts. You can come back with a check. You basically work 2 weeks, and then you come back maybe for a week or whatever the schedule is, and then go back for 2 weeks. 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, 1 week on, 1 week off, or something like that. I didn't get the job, unfortunately. It fell through, and I just started working dead-end jobs over and over again. I actually really wanted to go to school for business management, fashion design, and graphics design as well. Funny enough, I'm making my own graphics and managing my own business without any sort of college degree, and I'm doing fine, right? And then the whole, Pokemon Go thing started. Now, there's a lot of other things in between. Basically, guys, I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad for me. I'm just letting you know here exactly what's up. I have depression. I have anxiety. I have all these things. I do not like being around crowds. I do not like small talk, which if you ever have a conversation with me, don't worry, it's not like that. I will have a conversation. I can hold a conversation. I prefer not to, right? That's just my personality nowadays. It's just come down to that. And we've talked about this before. I eventually ended up in a horrible part of town, living in Mountain View here in Anchorage. And I started playing Pokemon Black and White a lot. I looked for groups that were doing, battling together in tournaments and stuff like that, and I found that one group, and it seemed amazing. I got there, and there was a couple of nice people, but then it ended up being kind of like a group of people that didn't really bring in or were too welcoming to everybody, even though it's advertised as everybody come and have a good time. But the thing is, I seen other people that were newer joining, and they were treating them normal. Now, I never pull this race card. I don't pull this. I am not like full black, but I am darker skinned, light skinned. And I honestly feel that had a lot to do with it, guys. I really do. And like I said, I totally do not like talking about this. And honestly, this whole BLM movement just gave me anxiety, because I felt like I was going to get more dirty looks, because I know people out there are not going to like what's going on, even though I'm not even, partaking in this too much, right? The movement's fine, everything is going, and that's, the thing that's happening. I have nothing against it, but I just had a feeling, and that's exactly what happened. A few things like that. So yeah, that Pokemon group treated me like as if I was just some scumbag. I didn't do anything to them. All I wanted to do was have a good time. And that's how I've been treated pretty much my whole life. Just some second-rate citizen, somebody who's just not worth anybody's time, some loser who knows nothing. And this is exactly why I wanted to go to all the tournaments that they participated in, so I could smack them down and leave them high and dry. And that's exactly what I did. So then I get the YouTube thing going, Pokemon Go. I couldn't believe it. Everything is great nowadays still. But I'm still getting the vibes of, don't talk about Poke. Everybody's against me when I was talking about, there was possible cheaters. Yes, I did not point out the correct cheaters at some situations, but for the most part I was hot on the trail. There was something going on, and turns out there is actually something happening, right? And I just feel like I'm being treated like that still to this day. Yes, I know there's a lot of you out there who support me, absolutely, and I really appreciate everything you do for me. I really do. But I just still feel like that it's still there for some reason. I don't know why. Yes, I'm not the best spoken person around. Yes, I make mistakes a little bit more frequently than an average person, I suppose. I'm trying here, guys, and all I want to do is just be accepted, right? And I'm being completely open here. This is not like, feel bad for me, because you guys know I don't make videos like this. This is just story time, being open with you, giving you a better idea as to who I am, all right, and kind of why I'm so snappy on probably Twitter, right, and the things I do say. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why, but I guess it's just my destiny. But you know what? A lot of famous people said it's better to be alone than to be with a group. When you're with a group, you're not thinking for yourself. And that is the advantage that I've had throughout the years when I've been kind of outcasted. I've been able to think for myself, make my own decisions, and not have the mob mentality. I've never been like that. I've tried a few times, I've been a part of groups, and I've experienced it, but it's so much better, honestly, being just simply alone. And I know that may sound lonely and sad, but honestly, I just prefer that life, the introvert life, and that is where we come today. And we get the invite from the Pokemon Company to go to the invitationals to play Pokemon Go during the opening ceremony. I couldn't believe it. The company that I've been following my whole life, that I've been playing Pokemon my whole life, has didn't handpick me. I think somebody else had a word in it. But nonetheless, I was there, shaking hands with the head guy of Pokemon Company. I couldn't believe it. And then the things happen now. I don't necessarily want to bring up old things, but I have to tell you the full story here. Then when I battled King, shout out to King, very good guy. He's always been nice to me. I'm going to let you guys know he's always looking out for me behind the scenes. You guys don't see it too much. He may comment on my stuff once in a while, but he's always checking in with me and asking how I'm doing, and he's a good guy. It's not like he beat me and that was it and he doesn't care and he's like, ha ha ha, it is what it is. But I'm going to say, when I was, doing well, I was on fire. I felt on top of the world. Then restart. And my spirits, you have no idea how badly my spirit just dropped. My ambition just stopped in its track. I didn't care anymore. And that I never confirmed this with anybody too much, but I've seen people talking about this on Reddit or on Twitter or random places on videos that I got unmotivated after he asked to start restarting, and I'll confirm to you that that was the case. Absolutely, that was the case. And you may see it even so on Twitter. There's like the self-proclaim, and there will always be the self-proclaim elites. Always. There's never an official. They're always just giving themselves these titles that are attacking me. They attack me sometimes, and they don't like what I say. Oh, you're attacking PvP community. Like, you know what, man? I have a voice. I can say whatever I want to. And guess what? I was right about a lot of stuff. Yes, like I just described, I wrongly accused a few people of potentially cheating, but I took those down. I apologized, and I let it go, and I never talked about those again, right? I made amends. But there's just always been this undermine of me. Always. And I never understood why. Maybe it's just because I'm not the most well-spoken off person in the world. I don't know. Maybe they just don't like the way I do things or I conduct my channel. But nonetheless, I can feel it. And after, I don't even want to say his name, who started the whole mob attacking me for saying a few people were cheating, because it's just going to give him attention. But that confirmed all the people that I knew didn't like me, and that was their opportunity to come forth and just bash me. Just say all kinds of nasty, disgusting. I had even this one guy. This is just like such a stupid reply. I was in the Marines and I fought in MMA. Pokey AK, you're a scumbag. Like, dude, you are one of the worst human beings on this planet. Shut your face. Nobody cares. You don't go around bragging about that and then tell me I'm a scumbag because I called somebody a cheater in Pokemon Go. That's you got to be joking me. That's the kind of people I'm dealing with, and that's just why I'm an introvert. I just can't stand people. I can't trust them. I've been screwed over so many times in my life. It's been outrageous. And now I've come to this point where I simply just want to be alone. That's it. Just me, my son, my dog, and that's it. That's all I want, and I don't really care about anything else anymore, because Nobody really, I just get kicked to the curb all the time. So there you go, guys. That's why I'm an introvert. And I've always felt this way. This has always kind of been my little analogy for it. Basically, you have a football field, and I feel like everybody else can just run straight through it to the very end and just get it done with. But for me, it's like a rat race, like a big maze. I can't run straight through. There's a massive obstacle course, and it takes me 5 times as long to do something that somebody else can do in just no time at all, but it takes me much longer. It's just the way it's always been for me, unfortunately. But I guess it's made me who I am, and look at me today. I'm going to tell you this, it's made me a survivor. And I mean, I'm past 165,000 subscribers using what? A single phone. I was using a lesser advanced phone in the beginning, like an S7, and then we've gradually moved up, and now we have an S10. But nonetheless, I'm able to do this with a single phone, and I believe just everything that I've experienced in life has given me the determination, the will to continue on and keep on pushing no matter what resources I have, and just get it done and just keep on going. I don't care if my videos aren't the best production around, the best sound, the quality, whatever. I'm doing it. I'm bringing the information, and I'm educating people on how to do things. And like I said, there's going to always be people that oppose you, obviously, right? You're always going to have haters, and there's people out there who like to say, well, if you don't have haters, that means you're not doing something right. Or if you have haters, you're doing something right. Well, I guess that's true, and no matter who you are, if you amass a good amount of people as followers, there's always going to be people that don't like that, and always be people that are going to be hating on you and just opposing you, or just trying to bring you down, basically, right? So I've been blessed. I honestly have been blessed. I have an amazing son, beautiful dog, and all of you, right? All of you who have made this possible, who believed in me, and some of you have been watching me ever since I've been doing Digimon Unlimited. That's right, this channel started on Digimon, ironically enough, right? So anything's possible, folks, right? I'm not that kind of person who's like, oh, little Jimmy, you want to be an astronaut? Well, then go ahead and do it. I mean, yeah, but I'm more of a realist. Yes, those things are possible for a lot of people, but it's going to take a lot of hard work and dedication, right? I don't like telling kids, oh, well, you can do this and that. If I'm going to tell them they're going to do this and that, it's some big ambitious dream, I'm going to make sure that they know it's going to take a lot of work. And you're not going to just get it handed to you. You have to put in that work, always, right? So there you have it, trainers. How did you like that? Story time. A little intense? I don't know. I was contemplating whether or not I should actually upload this, but what the heck? What do I have to lose at this point? I make mistakes all the time, and it's crazy. I never thought in a million years that I would be telling thousands of people my story like this. The only people who really knew these kind of things were like my best friend Mikey, my mom, and Diego's mom or something like that. Otherwise, nobody really knows. My dad, family members, my brother and sisters, or my brothers and my sister. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister, so and they all live in Arizona. Good people, good people. My mom is the sweetest person ever, hardworking person. She's a nurse, a registered nurse, oncology. So, and man, that's another story. I don't want to get off on another tangent here, but man, oh man, they sure do treat the nurses horrible nowadays. Well, at least from what I've heard. And they're on the front lines. But anyways, that's another story. I don't want to start going off here. Anyways, guys, that's a little bit of my story. I couldn't tell you all of it. It would take like an hour video, and I'd have to sit down and write a script because I'd have to like remember what I was going to say because there's so much. And I know we all have a story, right? We all have a story. It's not like, oh, Poke's, he's got the worst things going on for him. Not even close. I know all of you out there, a lot of you have been through hell and back too. And that's just life, right? There's a few lucky people out there who don't really have too much to worry about. But honestly, I don't want that life. I don't want an easygoing life at all. I want my life to be difficult and have many obstacles, because that right there is going to build you. It's going to make you who you are, and it's going to just simply make you able to survive in hard situations. When problems arise, you're going to be able to overcome them because you've been through hard times already. If you have everything handed to you all the time, if life is too easy all the time, when you have one incident, you're going to freak out and not know what to do. But if you go through all this trouble, you're going to be solid enough to make it through it and understand that you need to stay calm. And if it gets real bad, and if you get real broke and you have nothing left and you have no food and nobody, that one day hopefully things will get better. And you're just going to be stronger once you do build yourself back up and you have everything you need. You'll know where you've been and where you've come from and how little you've had. And then you're just going to appreciate everything you do have currently. So anyways, traders, a little deep, right? Oh man, life's crazy, guys. Really appreciate everybody. Love is the only thing that really matters at the end of the day. Hate doesn't. And I know I'm a part of that. But anyways, thanks for watching, trainers. If you did enjoy it, please give it a big thumbs up, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care. I have secrets that say